Well, good Saturday morning, everyone. We're not quite cooking with gas yet, but everybody's going to be jumping on here shortly. We'll give folks a few minutes to do. Was just on Discord and people were talking about how great it would be to have some Field of Dreams, and I have some time this morning to do that, so we're going to give it a go. We're starting in early September of season 3. Give everybody a few minutes to get on here. While we do, I'll go over the standings really quick. We're starting on September 1st. Liverpool is leading the Hagerstown in the Earth Division by 4.5. Fort Lee is right on their heels, 5 games out. In the Wind Division, is San Fran is ahead of Lehigh by 2, and it's a 2-team race there. In the Fire Division, we have Chicago 7.5 clear of Canada, who both teams are having exceptionally good seasons. Chicago is maintaining a 754 winning percentage, while Canada is at 693. Excuse me there. So, with that, in the Water Division, we have amazing Hadley Lake and Mid Michigan, all within 2.5 games of each other. We're probably going to do at least one game from that division, the Water Division. Just did a few brief scanning of the schedule. Quality games are hard to find over the next week of play, but I think I have a couple from either the Fire or Water Division that we can go with. Apologies to the other division. There's no real head-to-head matchups to really showcase with the division playoffs on the line there. So I think we're going to focus mostly on the Fire and Water and keep people up to speed on the rest. Don't know who we have in here. Let me pop on quick. Actually, can you guys even hear me? Did I even think to click the microphone button for the audio? Let us see if I did. Check, check, check. Can you guys hear? Is anybody watching? If somebody can hear, please drop a message. I apologize. This is the third stream. I've done. So before we get going, we will do that for sure. I'm just going to check something quickly. Hang tight. Apologies for that. Once again, for yet another messed up stream. We are still bungling our way through getting a channel set up, so keep that in mind. Okay, we are live, so good deal. All right, so now that I've established I actually am online and am broadcasting, we're going to get going here with the simple fact, with the way things stand. Heading over to the play screen would help. That would be a help. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, game, why don't you play? Good grief. I'm going to exit out of the game and exit right back in. If I can do that, wouldn't that be great? Something is... Hang tight, guys. I am very sorry about this. I don't know what happened there, but... I don't know what's happened here. Just a sec. This is what it always happens this way. Now we are going to go back into the game. We'll do that. Hello, Beatles Eternally and Bernie. I do see your message in this StreamYard. So apologies again for this mess up. This is only my third or fourth stream. Fortunately, people are patient and ready to and willing to give me a chance. So here we are, starting September the 1st. We're going to jump right into it since we got a few people on. Others can jump on as they want. We have starting off Manchester and Fort Lee. We're going to sim that. That game is going to go to the Fort Lee squad. Pizarro with a win, Gentry the loss, Jackson was 2 for 4 with a pair of RBIs and a triple. Edmonton and Chicago are the next game on tap, and Chicago does get by Edmonton 4-3. Eparixi picks up his 23rd. Chandler drops his 5th. Berkman goes 3 for 5 with 2 doubles. Hadley Lake and Marshfield, for this is an important one. Hadley Lake needs this to stay in the hunt. And wouldn't you know, they get it 7-2. Wernicke moves to 13-7. Gaston falls to 3-12. Judnick went 2 for 4 with a pair of homers and 2 RBI. The soon-to-be former Hadley Laker, who is one of our cuts at the end of the season. Just a reminder: if you haven't got your keeper list in, that's due by next Thursday, I believe. You want to get that in by noontime Thursday or even Wednesday just to be safe so that we can start looking to season 4. Brooklyn and Mid-Michigan. We have Mid-Michigan grabs the win. Shandell gets it, 16. He goes to 16-11. Givens falls to 4-2. Shoop went 3 for 4 with three doubles. Now, Chico's and Lehigh. Lehigh needs this to keep pace, and they get it 3-2. Mordecai Brown picks up his 18th win. Aldeacon Felipe falls to 14-11. Caminiti went 1-for-2 with his 17th homer and 2 RBIs. Lancaster in Canada. Canada keeps pace with Chicago with a 7-1 win. David Cohn gets his first. Sabathia falls to 2-7. St. Pete and Amazing. Now, Amazing needs this to keep pace with the other two teams that are on his heels. And wouldn't you know, he ekes it out over St. Pete, 8-7. Lee gets the win. Derringer gets the loss. And Fry goes 3-for-4 with a homer and 3 RBIs. D-Gens in Cleveland. The win goes to the D-Gens, who are now 73-83. Lester picks up his 12th. Walsh drops his 13th as we move on to Hagerstown and Long Island. Hagerstown does get the one-run win over Long Island to move to 73-66. Dietz picks up the win. Fulmer drops the loss. And Zach Wheat goes 3-for-5 with a pair of doubles. San Fran and T-ville. And San Fran beats T-ville by 4, 10-6. Kovaleski with the win, his 23rd. Carl Mays with the loss, his 10th. And Ted Williams went 3-for-4 with a pair of homers and 3 RBI. He's having an impact on the league already, as we thought he might. Liverpool and Dallas. Dallas upends Liverpool to make things interesting in that Earth division. Dallas gets the win 8-7. Vance picks up the victory. Melancon the loss. Morgan went 2-for-4 with his 17th homer. So in that division now, Hagerstown pulls to within 3.5, and Fort Lee is only 4 games out. Vegas and Florence is the last game of this day, September 1st. And the win goes to Florence, a rare win for Florence, but a win nonetheless. Anderson picks it up. Waddell gets the loss, and Phillips went 4-for-5 with with a double and 2 stolen bases. Moving on to Friday, September 2nd, we are going to look and see who we have. Many of the same games we had the day before. Edmonton and Chicago turns 5-4 for Chicago. Gumbert gets the win. Oswalt the loss. Gordon went 2-for-4 with his 22nd homer. Now, D-Gens in Cleveland. The win goes to Cleveland 8-3 over the Degens. Altrock gets the win, McDowell the loss, and Clemente went 2 for 4 with his ninth homer and a pair of RBIs to boot. Liverpool and Dallas, that one is going to Liverpool 9-4. Diekman gets the win. Wohlers gets the loss. Jones went 2 for 6 with a pair of homers and 2 RBI. Manchester and Fort Lee. Now, this is critical at Fort Lee's to keep pace for them to get the win here. And they do 4-3. Sale with a win, Lions the loss, and Roosh gets his 2 for 4 with his 17th homer. Lancaster and Florence goes to Lancaster overwhelmingly 8-1. Tomey the loss, win, Tehran the loss. Garvey went 2 for 5 with his 20th homer. St. Pete and Amazing, and the St. Pete squad pulls out the win against Amazing, wouldn't you know? 9-3. Davies gets the win, Smith the loss. Luzinski went 2 for 4 with his 13th homer. Now, Hagerstown and Long Island, the game goes to Long Island, a thrilling 3-2 result. Bumgardner gets the win, Santana the loss, and Posey went 2 for 3 with a homer and 2 RBIs. In the water division, it's now Amazing now leads Hadley Lake by 1 and Mid-Michigan by 2 as we head to Saturday the 3rd. Now today we have probably the first game we're going to play. I think we're going to do something here on today. We'll see what transpires. I think, what do we want to play here? What do we want to play here? Let me see. I'm thinking as interesting as it would be, Canada and Chicago, it's not really a close game, but it's big stakes for both. This could well determine whether Canada stays alive, whereas we also have a Hadley Lake game, but we have a game with them and Amazing later in the week that we're going to broadcast. So rather than show 2 Amazing and Hadley Lake games, I think we're going to go with, I really do. I think we're going to go, let me look here. Liverpool, Fort Lee. Yeah, I don't know. Liverpool, Fort Lee. That would be Liverpool and Fort Lee. One of their games would be good too, but I think we're going to we're going to start out with the fire and end with the water, I guess. So with that, we're going to head on out to Chicago, and we are going to play Chicago and Canada and see how those two squads pair up. As we do, we're going to start right off, and it looks like it's being played not physically at Tiger Stadium, but that seems to be the backdrop that I have up. So we will go down to the old ballpark and look and see who does what here. Now, the first thing we're going to do is hit computer lineup and then go to view opponent. I have to talk this out every time I do it because I'm not clear how to do it still yet. So there it is. There's our lineups. And it says we are playing, I think Chicago plays in Fulton County Stadium. We'll certainly see, wonder why the other stadium is popping up. Nonetheless, we will pop on over to the old ballpark. That is obviously not And I apologize yet again. It appears we're playing in Canada and we're playing at Briggs Tiger Stadium. So I'm going to have to see if I have a better rendition of this once we get through it. Welcome to Briggs Stadium for today's game between Chicago and Canada. It promises to be a battle between two solid teams. Chicago has won 8 of their last 10. Canada has won 6 straight. Mort Cooper takes the mound for Chicago. He's made 33 starts on the year and is 23-7 with an ERA of 2.95. It's his 5th start against Canada. He's 4-0 with a 1.50 ERA against them. He'll be opposed by Steve Carlton for Canada. He's made 33 starts on the year and is 20-8 with an ERA of 2.85. It's his 3rd start against Chicago, and he's 1-1 with a 3.46 ERA against them. Canada right fielder Tony Gwynn is riding a Chicago right fielder Canada right fielder Tony Gwynn is riding a 17-game winning streak. It's 72 degrees, wind speed 6 miles per hour in from right to field. And if you guys haven't noticed by now, I make a lot of mistakes, so apologies again to everyone. Let's play ball, and indeed we are going to play, but the first thing we're going to do is find another version of Briggs/Tiger Stadium, and we're going to jump in. I never seem to know what I'm going to do here. So we're going to go down. What have I got here? I can pop in quickly. That is configured. That's configured. I don't know if I like that, but I think that's configured. We may go with that and see how that goes and try this. That will work. It's not the greatest, but it's visually possible. There are fans in the stands, so we're going to start off the game. Edgar Martinez is leading off for the Chicago Red Riots. And, the Red Shirts, I should say. And the Chicago Red Shirts are 103-33. The Canada A's are 96-42. Edgar Martinez stands in, batting .296 with 21 homers and 85 RBIs against the starter Steve Carlton. In the field for Canada, we have K-Line in left, Chapman in center, Gwynn in right. Third to first, we have Boyer, Segura, Stanky, and Pujols. Behind the plate is Billy Sullivan, and Steve Carlton is on the hill. Martinez stands in and awaits the pitch. And here it comes. That ball is lifted out to left. K-Line journeys over and under to make the grab for out number 1. Now up comes George Brett, who's had one whale of a season. He's on a 9-game hitting streak, batting .342 with 47 homers and 120 RBIs. The former Hadley Laker is looking to do some damage against his arch rival Canada. Carlton gets the sign from Sullivan and deals. And that ball is lifted out to center field. Chapman charges under it, makes it for the out number 2. Now up is Kevin Mitchell batting third. The left fielder is batting .333, 7 homers and 25 RBIs. He also was a Hadley Laker, but wanted a change of scenery as he awaits the pitch from Carlton. Here it comes. That ball is lifted out to right and deep, not quite as deep as we thought. The wind pulled it down. Wind gloved it to retire the side. Now coming up is Canada, and on the hill for Chicago, as mentioned before, is Mort Cooper. In left field, we got Mitchell. Center is Pete Reiser, another former Hadley Laker. And in right is Jeff Heath, another former Hadley Laker. So it's a Hadley Lake outfield, it would seem. On third is Brett. Travis is in short. Eddie Collins is in second. And Frank Chance is at first. Behind the plate is another former Hadley Laker, Yogi Berra. At the plate leading off for Canada is Tony Gwynn, batting .327 with 7 homers and 57 RBIs. The pitch. That ball is drilled into right field for a base hit, and just like that, Tony Gwynn is aboard with nobody down, and Mort Cooper has surrendered the first hit of the ball game. Eddie Stanky stands in, batting 292 with 40 RBIs. Cooper makes a check on first, throws home. Caught on and missed, strike three. And down goes Stanky on a rare strikeout for him. Now it's going to be Sam Chapman batting. He's riding an 9-game hitting streak, batting 294 with 38 homers, 107 RBIs. Cooper looks the runner, bears down, gets a sign, and fires homeward. And that ball is right down the heart of Broadway for strikeout number two. Of three batters faced, Cooper has struck two out. Now it's up to Albert Pujols to extend the inning. He's batting 273 with 37 homers and 98 RBIs for Canada. Pujols is riding an 8-game hitting streak as he gets set in the batter's box. Gwynn takes a small lead. Cooper looks him over, fires homeward, and that ball is shot up the middle, but right back to Cooper, who gloves it and tosses it over to first for out number 3. After one inning, there's no score, and we're headed to the top of the second with Steve Carlton back on the hill for Canada. Now up is Jeff Heath for the Chicago squad. He's batting 279 with 28 homers and 100 RBIs. A tough out by any means, having a wonderful season. The pitch from Carlton. And that ball is smoked high and deep behind second. Stanky wanders under it, makes a grab for out number 1. Next up comes Cecil Travis, batting 265 with 10 homers and 75 RBI. Not too shabby for him either. So Carlton has got to figure out what he's going to do here with one man down as he gets the sign from Sullivan. The pitch. That ball is smacked up the middle. Stanky's there, though, and he'll toss over to first for out number 2. Now on comes Frank Chance, batting first baseman, batting 286 with a pair of homers and 5 RBIs. Chance gets settled in as the pitch comes from Carlton, and that ball is ball 4. It could have gone either way at 3-2. But Chance displayed some good discipline at the plate to get aboard. Now up for Chicago is Pete Reeser, batting 270 with 18 homers and 89 RBI. The pitch from Carlton. And he's going to toss it over to first as Chance dives back. Reeser will have to wait for the pitch. And here it comes. The runner is off. The throw is none, and that's strike 3 to end the inning. First strikeout on the day for Carlton as we head to the bottom of the second. First up is Al Kaline. Al Kaline on the day is batting 277 with 24 homers and 72 RBIs for the Canada A's. Cooper comes set and throws. That ball is bounded to second. Collins makes an excellent play on it and slings it over to first for out number 1. Now up is Mark McGuire, batting 224 with 23 homers and 61 RBI. Cooper deals. And that ball is lofted deep to left, and Mitchell is back at the track for out number 2. Next, great work there by Cooper as John Segura stands in at 284 with 13 homers, 42 RBIs. The pitch from Cooper. And that ball is looped over the head of Eddie Collins and into shallow right center. So Segura is on board for the A's, and they may have a little something going here with 2 outs. Now up comes Billy Sullivan, batting 251 with 23 RBIs. Cooper deals. Throws to first. Segura dives back safely, and we'll do it over again. Sullivan gets ready and awaits. The pitch. That ball is blistered to first. Chance with a lunging stab for out number 3 that surely saved a run, maybe more. If that had gotten deep into the corner, it would have been a triple and a run, maybe even an inside the park homer. Now leading off for Chicago as we head to the top of the third is Yogi Berra, batting .244 with 17 homers and 64 RBIs. Carlton works. That ball is lifted out to center. Chapman comes under it, and he'll glove it for out number 1. That's all he wrote for Berra. Now it's up to Eddie Collins, batting .229 with no homers and 25 RBIs. There's one man down as Carlton works. That ball is caught on and missed. Strike 3 for a strikeout number 2 for Steve Carlton. And we're back at the top of the order with Edgar Martinez batting .296 with 21 homers, 85 RBIs. And on the day, Martinez is 0 for 1. He grounded a fly out to left center. And we'll see what he does here as Carlton deals. Right over the heart of the plate, but the umpire disagrees, and that's ball 4 for his second walk of the day. Now up comes George Bratt for Chicago. He on the day is also 0 for 1, and we'll see what he did. He flied to deep left center his last time up. The pitch from Carlton. That ball sounds well hit, and it's going back to deep center. Chapman ranges back on it, and he's there to make the catch right at the track for out number 2. Chicago held their breath there, and Canada really did as well, as that looked like it had a chance. Now up for Canada comes Ken Boyer as we head to the bottom of the third, batting .237 with 26 homers, 59 RBI. The pitch. And that is ball 4, a walk by Moore Cooper on that one to put the leadoff man on. And now we're back to the top of the order with Tony Gwynn batting .329, 7 homers and 57 RBI. Gwynn led the game off with a base hit into shallow right center, and we'll see what he does here as Cooper readies the throw. That one is smoked to short. Travis up with it, flips to second for 1, and on to Chance at first for the double play. And just like that, there's 2 men down. Now Eddie Stanky stands in for Canada as he will have to contend with the wily Mort Cooper. Cooper deals. That one is smoked into the hole past Collins, and Stanky is aboard with 2 men down. The double play looming large. Sam Chapman will stand in. He's 0 for 1. I believe he struck out earlier. We'll check that. Indeed he did. The pitch. That ball is caught on and missed, strike 3. So just like that, after 3, we have no score. Neither side has put a runner across the plate. Really, nobody's had one in scoring position. As Kevin Mitchell stands in to lead off the 4th for Chicago, batting .330. He's 0 for 1 on the day, and if memory serves, he struck out. No, he flied to shallow right. Memory doesn't serve. Carlton works, and the pitch comes home. That ball's lifted shallow left center. Kaline comes in on it almost to the infield to make the grab for out number 1. Up comes Jeff Heath. Who popped out to second base his last time up. The pitch. And that one is drilled into the hole past Segura and into left field for a base hit, a 1-out single. Chicago may have something going with Cecil Travis standing in. Last time out, Travis grounded to second as Carlton works. He looks the runner back, throws to first. The runner's off. The throw down. Segura gets his man on a bang-bang play. On the pitch out was up, so 2 men down as Travis still stands at the plate. He's got a 1-0 count as Carlton works. The pitch from Carlton. That one's lifted into shallow center. Chapman wanders under it for out number 3. After 3.5, there's still no score, but Canada, the red shirts did manage to pick up their first hit of the day. Pujols will stand in now for Canada in the bottom of the 4th as he's 0 for 1 on the day. Cooper works. That one is smoked to third. Brett has it. He throws to first to get his man out number 1. Kaline will stand in 0 for 1. The pitch. That one is blistered, past short, and a little further, in fact. It will get way into the outfield, into the gap, as Al Kaline will pick up a double on that play. He hustled right out of the box, and it shows. He's now at second with Mark McGuire standing in with one man down. McGuire is 0 for 1, but can easily do some damage if Cooper is not careful. The pitch. And indeed, that ball is hit sharply to short. Up with it is Travis, who throws to first for the out. Kaline could not advance. Now it comes down to Segura with 2 men down. He singled to right right center his last time up. Cooper works. The pitch. And that ball is lifted high into center field and back. Reeser steps back and gloves it for out number 3. After 4 full, no score as we head to the top of the 5th. Frank Chance leads it off for Chicago, batting .286 with 2 homers and 6 RBI. He reached on a walk his last time up. Carlton deals. That one is smoked over the head of Segura into shallow left center, and Frank Chance is aboard. Chicago has the start of something going here. Let's see if they can pull it together. Pete Reeser will stand in. He struck out in the second for his first appearance. Carlton gets the sign. And that ball is bunted back to the mound. Sullivan charges it, catches, fires to first, but not before the runner advances. Great heads-up play by the catcher as his counterpart, Yogi Berra, stands in. Berra is 0 for 1 on the day as he awaits the pitch from Carlton. And that ball is drilled into left. We'll see. Indeed, Kaline has it. He caught it on a line, caught a shoestring catch there, and Chance has to hold up to do nothing with it. Now for Chicago comes Eddie Collins, batting .228. He's 0 for 1 on the day. He'd like to turn it over to the top of the order as Carlton works. The runner's off. The pitch is blistered into the corner. That will score a run. And Collins will hit second, go for third, the throw, the relay, and it's not in time. Eddie Collins with a clutch triple to put Chicago atop 1-0. And another run is only 90 feet away. Martinez stands in 0 for 1 on the day. We'll see if the DH can add to Chicago's lead, or if Carlton can get out of this without any further damage. The pitch. That ball is lifted high into center field. Chapman races under, makes the catch for out number 3, but not before Chicago gets a 2-out triple to go ahead 1-0. Now for the Canada Rays, they're going to lean on Billy Sullivan, while Mort Cooper on the hill is going to try to shut the door of this inning. Sullivan waves the bat and awaits the pitch. That ball sails right in there for strike number 3. That's 4 on the day for Cooper. Ken Boyer will stand in. He's got aboard his last time up with a walk, batting .237 on the season. The pitch to Boyer. And that one's right over the heart of the plate for strike out number 5. He could not pull the trigger. And now we're back to the top of the order with Tony Gwynn. 2 men down. We'll see what he can do. He singled earlier today. Cooper would like to get an out here. And indeed he will, as Cooper strikes out the side for his sixth man on the day. After 5, it's 1-0. Chicago. Steve Carlton will take the hill for the 6th inning to face off against George Bratt, who is still looking for his first hit on the day. The pitch from Carlton. Swung on and missed, strike 3, so both pitchers are locked in. Neither wants to give way here as Kevin Mitchell stands in. Now Mitchell is 0 for 2. The pitch from Carlton, and that's a looper into center field. Chapman chases it, and he'll grab it for out number 2. Next up, we have Jeff Heath, who's 1 for 2 on the day. He popped out to second in the second, and he grounded a single between third and short in the 4th. The pitch to Heath. Right over the plate, and that's strikeout number 4 for Carlton, who answered the challenge as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Now up for Canada, who in search of his second hit of the day and to get the A's on the board is Eddie Stanky. Cooper revs up and fires. And he is going to give up a walk. I don't know. That was a 3-1 count. Could have been strike 2, but Stanky is aboard nonetheless with a powerful Sam Chapman standing in. He's got 38 homers and 107 RBI. One here will put Canada ahead as Chapman is due for a hit. The pitch from Cooper. And that goes to the foul off, goes to the backstop, and we'll do it all over again. The 0-2 count to Chapman from Cooper. And that ball is blistered into the hole for a base hit. A bad play on that out there. Cecil Travis did not get over in time, and that one snuck through for a base hit. So just like that, Canada has a threat going with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. And Albert Pujols standing in. Should he launch one, it will put Canada ahead, but Canada would just as soon have a base hit here to keep things going. Cooper bears down. And that ball is trickled up the middle to second. What a play to flips to second for 1, and on the first, Chance records the second out. That was a sensational play by Cecil Travis, who made the quick move. Stanky is at third. The tying run is only 90 feet away. It's all down to K-line as Cooper works. And that ball is shot down to third, over to first, not in time. Brett did well, but K-line drove the run home. So we are tied at 1. Just like that, Mark McGuire is standing in. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Cooper works and fires, and that one is laced back to Cooper, who one-hands it and throws to first for out number 3. What a game we have going here. I hope you all are enjoying it out in TV land, out in YouTube land, as Cecil Travis starts off the top of the 7th for Chicago. Once again, we have a great play leading off the top of the next inning. Carlton gets a sign from Sullivan and fires. That ball is shot up the middle. Stanky ranges over and throws to first for out number 1. Frank Chance will stand in. He's got a hit today as he awaits the pitch from Carlton, who's only thrown 83 today. The pitch is cut on and missed. Strike 3, number 5 for Carlton. Now it's up to Pete Reiser, who's 0 for 1, still in search of his first hit on the day. Carlton delivers. And that's right over the heart of Dixie for strikeout number 6 as we play Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And this would be a good time as good a time as any if you guys like what you hear, or even if you don't and you just want to be good sports, to subscribe to the channel. I mostly at this point have done Field of Dreams. I'd like to do some Out of the Park on here. I haven't quite found the time to actually set up an Out of the Park sim that I want to broadcast, so that may be coming down the line. We'll see. But if you are so inclined, jump on and subscribe. Bernie, thankfully, has posted the link in our Field of Dreams or Sports Dreams Discord. So feel free to jump on and anytime and subscribe if you like what you hear. Now headed back to the ballpark, we have Mort Cooper back out for the bottom of the seventh. Segura standing in for Canada. He's bad. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He had a single earlier, I believe, in the second inning. Excuse me. He flied out in the fourth. Cooper works. And that ball is shot into center field, base hit. Didn't really get a jump on it. Eddie Collins, Cecil Travis had another bad play, but I tell you, he's had a great one. So it's feast or famine for Cecil Travis, it would appear. Nonetheless, Segura is on board for the second time, and he is a threat to steal. Sullivan stands in. Cooper fires. The runner is off. The ball is looped over the head of the shortstop. And just like that, Canada has runners at first and third with nobody out. That was a perfectly executed hit and run there, as Travis couldn't come up with it. Now up comes Ken Boyer. Cooper is in a rare point of distress as the pitch comes homeward. And that is strikeout number 7. He really needed that, did Cooper. Now we head back to the top of the order for the hit machine, Tony Gwynn, who is batting 1 for 3 on the day and 327 on the season. The pitch from Cooper. The throw to first. Sullivan dives back, and we'll do it all over again as Gwynn settles in. And that one is laced to third and into the first, and into right field as a run comes home. Gwynn puts Canada atop as with only one man down, and now it's up to Eddie Stanky to extend that lead or pass the torch to Chapman, as it were. Cooper deals after conversing with Berra. As Berra would say, it ain't over till it's over. That at bat is over as Stanky cuts on and miss for strikeout number 8. Cooper has the strikeouts. He just doesn't have the run support. Now Chapman will stand in, batting 1 for 3. The pitch to him, and that one is lifted out to center field and deep, and it is caught out at the track. So Cooper does get out of it, but not before giving up a critical go-ahead run. And the shoe is now on the other foot for the Red Shirts. Let's see what Carlton can do to shut them down, if he can. He's at 91 pitches as Berra stands in 0 for 2. The pitch, and that's over the plate for strikeout number 7. Carlton answers his first challenge. Now up comes Collins, who singled his last time up and drove in the first run, tripled his last time up, and drove in the go-ahead run at the time. The pitch from Carlton. And that's smacked high and deep to left. K-line ranges under for out number 2 as we head back to the top of the order with Edgar Martinez. Carlton delivers. And that one is smoked into the hole past shortstop Segura, who could do nothing with it and just had to watch it sail into left field as Martinez is aboard. Now, if a big hitter is standing in here, and George Bratt, he's batting 341 with 47 homers and 120 RBIs. So if Chicago is going to make a play, this would be a critical point to do it. Let's see is Carlton delivers. And that is strikeout number 8. Big out and a clutch out for the Canada A's as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Cooper is going to try to hold him here, and he's going to have to do it against Pujols, who's riding the 8-game hitting streak. The pitch. And that one is shot into center, caught out there by Reeser on the line. But it gets no easier as Al Kaline steps in. He's 2 for 3 on the day. Let's see. He singled his last time up, driving in Stanky to tie up the game. Kaline awaits the pitch. And that ball is back to Cooper, who gloves it and fires on to first for out number 2. Now it's the ever-powerful Mark McGuire, who's a threat to go deep. He hasn't gone deep as much this year, but Cooper's certainly hoping to contain him here and maybe retire him. The pitch. That ball is lifted to left and deep and back. No luck. Mark McGuire hits it out for a big third run to give Canada the 3-1 lead. 24th homer on the year for McGuire. He's 1 for 4, but that's a big hit there. Now it's up to Jean Segura, batting 2 for 3 on the day. Cooper just wants to get out of this inning. And the ball is bunted out front of the plate inexplicably. The throw to first, and that's out number 3. That's a big gift as far as Cooper is concerned, but he'll take it. And we will continue on to the top of the 9th, where Chicago is down to their final 3 outs. And the first man batting is Kevin Mitchell, batting 0 for 3 on the day. The pitch from Carlton. Swung on and missed, strike 3. He's got 9. One down with Jeff Heath standing in, batting 279. Heath is 1 for 3 on the day as well. The pitch to him. And that's buzzed over the plate. Strikeout number 10. Carlton is having an amazing game. Cooper did too, really, but he's been slightly worse than Carlton. Now up it's Cecil Travis. It's down to him if this game is going to continue. The pitch. And that ball is lifted into center. Chapman is there to retire the side and finish the game. The Canada A's win 3-1 to pull one game closer to Chicago. And we will have a look at this box score here. Carlton was very spectacular as he allowed only 1 run and 4 hits. Canada put up 10 hits and 3 runs against Cooper. And we're going to have a look to see who player of the game is. If I had to guess, I would say it should be Carlton. But we'll see. Indeed, it is Carlton. And that is that. So a big win by the Canada A's as we head back to the old ballpark to see what's going to happen next. And we're going to zip over there in just a sec as the game decides it's going to do its thing. And just like that, Canada is only 7 games out. It's not out of the realm of possibility if Chicago should stumble. But Chicago's got a very good team, and them losing any game is a rarity, it would seem. They've only lost 34 on the year. Now we have Chico's and T-ville playing, and the win goes to T-ville, 8-4. Stelke gets the win. Seaver the loss. Harris went 2 for 4 with his 29th homer. Lancaster and Florence, we'll see what's going on there. And Lancaster wins a slugfest over Florence, 10-8. Freeman picked up his 21st homer with 3 RBIs. Now, amazing in Marshfield. This has implications in the water division. And wouldn't you know, Marshfield with a sensational, unlikely win beats Amazing Schumacher picks up his 10th. Valdez loses his first game, and Story went 3 for 4. We'll see how that shakes out later as Long Island falls to Fort Lee 9-5. Fort Lee has had a very respectable season. Quintana gets the win, Saberhagen the loss. Murray went 3 for 4 with a pair of homers and 2 RBIs. Now Hagerstown and Dallas. The win goes to Hagerstown, who's also had a very solid season. It's great to see teams like Hagerstown and Fort Lee making good this year. Warren Spahn has picked up the win. Tannehill the loss. Clark went 2 for 4 with a pair of doubles and a stolen base. Mid-Michigan and St. Pete now has some more interesting implications, and St. Pete falls to Mid-Michigan. Wainwright with the win, Darvish with the loss. Fox went 2 for 3 with his 30th homer and 2 RBI. Lehigh and Cleveland. The win goes to Lehigh 4-3. Luque gets it. Owen gets the loss. Galarraga went 3 for 4 with a triple and a double and a stolen base for good measure. Now Liverpool, who is only 3.5 ahead of Fort Lee and 4 ahead of Hagerstown, needs a win against their rivals Manchester. And Manchester gets the win. Wouldn't you know? The nation of one has prevailed with Zach Greinke getting the win. Catfish Hunter falls to 4-2. Early went 2 for 3 with a pair of homers and 3 RBI. Now, a game that could have big implications in the water division, Hadley Lake in Brooklyn. Riddle is getting the start for Hadley Lake. We'll see if he can answer it or if Brooklyn will be the solution. It goes 3-1 Brooklyn and a big win for them. Douse gets the win, Riddle the loss. Larkin went 2 for 3 in defeat with a stolen base. So Hadley Lake missed a golden opportunity there as we now have 3 teams within 1 game in the water division. San Fran and the D-Gens. The win goes to the D-Gens, throwing Lehigh a lifeline as they gain a game. It is 9-4, and Arietta gets the win. Taylor the loss. Lowell went 3 for 5 with his 11th homer and 2 RBIs. Edmonton and Vegas. The win goes to Edmonton as Hands gets it. Hendricks loses it, and Fregosi went 2 for 3 with his third homer on the season. D-Gens and San Fran. This could get really interesting here if the D-Gens should happen to win another one. And they don't. It's San Fran, Lanier with the win, Feller with the loss, and Williams went 2 for 4 with his 38th homer, excuse me. So on September 3rd, we have very interesting races with San Fran ahead of Lehigh by a game and a half. Liverpool clinging to a 3-game lead over Fort Lee and 3.5 over Hagerstown. Amazing, up a game by over Hadley Lake and Mid-Michigan. And Chicago ahead by 7 over Canada. Now we're heading to the 4th. We're going to see what transpires there. We're going to go to the 8th, I believe. Chico's and T-ville is the first game of the day. That's going to go 6-5 to T-ville. Shocker with a win. Benton the loss. Musial went 2 for 4. His 18th homer and 4 RBI. Amazing in Marshfield. And Amazing bounces back with a 7-2 win. Hamels gets it. Liriano loses it. Rollins went 2 for 4 with his 12th homer. Now, Long Island and Fort Lee, the win goes to Long Island, with Liverpool must be relieved at that, with Pedro Martinez going 1-for-1 and Jimmy Key falling to 11-11. Wright went 3-for-4 with 2 RBI and a triple. Hagerstown and Dallas, and what a win for Hagerstown, 17-4. Necro got the win, Rourke the loss. Wagner went 2 for 4. Chicago and Canada, we're not going to broadcast this one. We just broadcast one of theirs. So we're going to see Chicago lose to Canada again. This is getting a little interesting. Fingers gets the win. Tiant drops the game to 25-4, and Pujols gets his 39th home run, or 38th home run, excuse me. Edmonton and Vegas. The win goes to Vegas 5-2. Rogers gets it. Kosman loses it. Tejada went 2 for 4 with a homer and 2 RBIs. Lancaster and Florence goes to Florence 3-0. Wilson with the win. Walters with the loss. And that is that. Now, Mid-Michigan and St. Pete is a win for Mid-Michigan, 7-5, so they keep pace. Verlander with a big win. Jenkins with the loss. Cabrera 2 for 4 with his 25th and 3 RBIs. Lehigh and Cleveland is a win for Lehigh, 9-6. Brown with the win, picks up his 19th, but Simmons the loss, and Mays win 2 for 4 with his 35th. Liverpool and Manchester. Indeed, Manchester gets another win. And just like that, Hagerstown is only 2.5 games out. The Red Bull Nation of One must be celebrating over in Wales today as his team and the Manchester squad is putting on a late season charge, it would seem. So Reed with the win, Kluber with the loss. McGee went 2 for 5 with his 15th. Now, Hadley Lake in Brooklyn. Hadley Lake must win to keep pace, and they do get the win. Syndergaard picks up his 8th. Gaylord Perry falls to 12-18, and Henke gets his 9th save. So now it's the second end of a doubleheader between Florence and Lancaster. Lancaster edges Florence 4-3 with Messersmith picking up the win. Sanders went 3-for-4 with his 11th homer and 3 RBIs. Degens and San Fran could be really interesting here as the Degens lose to San Fran 10-4. Fernandez gets the win, Joss the loss, and Carter went 2-for-2 with his 27th. So the standings stay pretty much status quo as we head to Monday the 5th. And we are going to sim out all these games as well. The next game will either be Tuesday or Wednesday, and that will be it for the stream. As I hadn't originally planned on doing this today, but figure why not. So Amazing in Marshfield. The win goes to Amazing by 1. They hang on 7-6. The winner is Lee. The loser is Harris. Luzinski went 2-for-3 with a pair of RBIs. Chico's in T-Ville goes to Chico's by 1 in 10 innings. Jensen the win. Davis the loss. Guerrero went 4-for-5 with a pair of RBIs and a homer. Lancaster and Florence. Florence gets the win. Babbage gets it. Buckeye loses it. Bonilla went 2-for-3 with his first homer and 2 RBI. Long Island and Fort Lee. The folks in Fort Lee and Liverpool and Hagerstown are watching this. And Fort Lee gets the win. Alvarez gets it. Palmer loses it. And Parker went 3-for-4 with a double. Now, can Hagerstown answer the call? Indeed, they cannot. No, they cannot. Dallas gets a stunning win. Greg Maddux picks it up. He's 16-12. Porcillo falls to 8-11. And Fort Lee is now alone in second place by half a game, only 2.5 out. Mid-Michigan and St. Pete. The win goes to St. Pete. They got to be rejoicing in the street of St. Pete as Nelson gets the win, Morris the loss, and Ramirez goes 3-for-5 with a double. That puts Mid-Michigan 2 games out of Amazing. Now, Chicago and Canada, we'll see if Chicago can reverse their fortunes. Newhouser is pitching for Canada. We know that. and he's getting the win just like that. Canada is only going to be 6 or 5 games out. I'm not 5, indeed. Canada's only 5 games out, so they're not totally out of the mix quite yet. And Chicago is not completely run away with it, as they've come back to the earth a little bit, even though they're in the fire division. No pun intended. It probably wasn't even a good one. Lehigh and Cleveland. The win goes to Lehigh, who for temporarily moves to 1 game out. Cy Young wins in 12. Altrock gets a loss, and Biggio goes 2 for 4. Liverpool and Manchester. Can the Red Bolt Nation sweep Liverpool, or will Liverpool quiet the critics? It appears that Liverpool quieted the critics as they got a hard-fought 7-5 win. Sutter with the win, Gentry the loss. Wingo went 2 for 4 with a pair of homers and 3 RBIs. So that division is still 3 and 3.5 respectively. Fort Lee is in second. Now, Amazing and Marshfield are going to play another. Let's play 2, they say. So indeed they're gonna. And just like that, Amazing gets the win. So they're 2.5 up over. They're 2 up over Hadley Lake and 2.5 over Marshfield. The win goes to Smith. The loss goes to Snell. Kipnis went 2 for 3 with a homer and 4 RBI. Vegas and Edmonton. Edmonton gets the win over Vegas. 14-inning marathon. Bonham gets the win. Smith the loss. And Blankenship gets the save. Degens and San Fran. The win goes to San Fran 9-0 over the Degens. Kovaleski picks up his 24th. And Ted Williams cranks his 40th. Now it's Hadley Lake and Brooklyn again playing. Hadley Lake must keep pace. I must beat Brooklyn to keep pace, rather. And they do. 8-0. Faber gets the win and a spot start. Tillman gets the loss. And Judnick goes 2 for 3. He's 3 for 3 with a homer and 3 RBIs. I bet they wish they hadn't caught him at the end of the season, but the die has been cast in that respect. So it's Amazing by 1.5 over Hadley Lake and 2.5 over Mid-Michigan. As we head into Tuesday and a full slate of games here, we have a bunch of double headers. We are going to sim out these games, I think. Oh, no, here's what we'll do. We'll play the Hadley Lake Amazing game, and we will sim out the rest, and then close out. We'll leave the next day I guess we'll go through Wednesday. So we'll do that. Dallas and Fort Lee. Dallas beats Fort Lee, plays spoiler 11-6. Vance gets the win. Pizarro the loss. Murphy 4 for 5 with 2 homers. Manchester and Long Island. The win goes to Manchester, who's playing well down the stretch. Hoffman with the win. Wahlberg the loss. Wright went 3 for 4. Lehigh and Chico's. Lehigh needs a win. They don't get it. Chico's does. Felipe picks up his 15th. Kevin Brown drops his 7th. Lucarello goes 3 for 4 with a triple. T-ville and San Fran. The win goes to San Fran. Not what Lehigh wanted to see, but San Fran got it. And Banks picked up his 31st homer of the year. Taylor got the win, Hoyt the loss. Chicago and Vegas, the win goes to Chicago. Rixey picks up his 24th. Waddell loses his 8th. Now Dallas and Fort Lee, and another in the back end of a doubleheader. Fort Lee bounces back with Stoudemire. Seacoat gets the loss. Freeman goes 3 for 4. San Fran and T-ville, the back end of a doubleheader. It seems to be doubleheader day. San Fran sweeps it, wins 13-4 with Harris on the hill, and Ruth picks up the loss. Williams picks up his 41st home run, and Wind goes 4 for 5. Chicago and Vegas, the win goes to Chicago. They're back on the winning path. Cooper's 24 and 9, Ruffing 0 and 5. Heath went 2 for 5 with his 29th homer and 2 RBIs. Canada and Florence, in a stunning turn of fortune, Florence beats Canada 1-0. Anderson with the win, Alexander the loss, Nathan the save. What a stunning turn of events was that. Wow, that's not what Canada wanted to see. Now it's Marshfield and St. Pete. Marshfield is gonna drop to St. Pete 8-7. Derringer gets the win in 11. Harris the loss. Siebert went 2 for 3 with a pair of homers and 2 RBIs. Edmonton and Lancaster, the win goes to Lancaster. Sabathia gets it. Drysdale loses it. Arenado went 2 for 3 with his 9th homer. Cleveland and the D-Gens, the win goes to the D-Gens. McDowell picks it up. Sanchez the loss. Now we're going to skip over that game. We will play, for now, we're going to play it in a sec. Hagerstown and Liverpool, the win goes to Liverpool. Ooh, we should have played that. We could have played that. We could have, couldn't we have? Yes, we could have. So Hagerstown drops a critical game to Liverpool 8-5. Kershaw with a win. Price the loss. Betts win 3 for 4 with a homer. Mid-Michigan and Brooklyn. The win goes to Mid-Michigan 10-1. Schendel gets it. Gaussman the loss. Grandison goes 3 for 4. Now we are going to go over and we're going to play. Hadley Lake is playing at home against the Amazings. And we're going to jump into that game. We're going to change. Hadley Lake plays at Turner Field, so we're going to try to find a Turner Field image before the game actually starts. Turner Field. There we go. Being tongue-tied sometimes is half the entertainment of these broadcasts, I must say. Turner Field. Let's see if that does it. Maybe that'll do it. Go there. Turner Field. There's a good Turner. There's a good Turner right there. We'll see if it's all configured. If it is, then that's what we'll stick with. All righty then. So we are going to jump in and we're going to do computer lineup. I have to talk myself through this. View opponent. Computer lineup. View opponent. Computer lineup. There we go. On we go to the ball game. And we obviously are not in Turner Field, but we will be shortly. Welcome to Turner Field for tonight's game between Amazing and Hadley Lake. Johnny Humphreys takes the mound for Amazing. He's made 2 starts on the year and is 5-0 with an ERA of 1.62. His second start against Hadley Lake. He'll be opposed by Eddie Plank for Hadley Lake. He's made 24 starts on the year and is 16-6 with an ERA of 3.33. It's his 4th start against Amazing. He's 3-0 with a 2 ERA against Amazing. It's 83 degrees, wind speed 3 miles per hour left to right. And play ball. We're going to play ball in just a matter of seconds, but we are going to switch to a field that is actually functional. Let us do that. For whatever reason, we did not pull, the right park image did not pull in. So we're hopefully going to have one here that will work. Otherwise, we are going to be in a mess. That didn't work. We're going to have a ballpark, one of these The one knock against Action PC is that sometimes parks do not load the way they should. And this one doesn't seem to want to load anything. I'm going to try this again. We are going to try this again. We're going to have a park that's going to load one form, fashion, or means. Apologies again here. Well, even if it doesn't look exactly like Turner Field, it may look like Fulton County Stadium, but it is being played at Turner Field. So please bear with me as I find something that's even somewhat we could do that. Let's try that. Let's try this one. See if this works. Great. So the game does not seem to want to cooperate with us today. Why, I am not sure. I don't know. I guess we're just going to have to go with something here. I'm going to try something. I'll try something else. Sometimes these do not load up. It says it's loading, but once again, it's not. So they do not always function the way they should, do they, these games? No, they do not. And unfortunately, and I would stick with this, but the players don't even look. So I guess what we will do is we will start the game over. The game hasn't actually started, so no statistics have been accumulated. I'm going to try this. I'm not a fan of doing it this way, but nonetheless, we're going to try it again. The game will not I can't even speak at this point. The game will not play until we're going to try this again. Well, we're going to be, it looks like at this point in time, this may be what we're getting. We're going to reload the lineup. I apologize again, guys. If I knew what I was doing, then there we go. Now let's try this again. We are at Turner Field. The time is still, and as you can see, the lineups are still what they are. And Johnny Humphreys is still pitching. Ernie Plank is still pitching for Headley Lake. And I am going to try the display one more time. Don't you just love this sometimes? I hope this does not mess up the league file. It doesn't. It shouldn't. We'll see. We'll try one more time, and if not, we're going to be back. We're going to be playing in Camden. We're going to be imagining we're at Fulton, we're at Turner Field, and not not Camden Yards. So let's give that a go. Let's give this a go. We're going to be imagining we're at Turner Field. So just imagine you're at Turner Field and not Camden Yards. So with all of that hullabaloo going, Eddie Plank takes the hill for Hadley Lake. Kipnis stands in for the Amazings. Behind the plate is Sunberg for Hadley Lake. The outfield, we have Cespedes in left, Judnick in center, Williams in right, Rose at third, Larkin at short, Bloodworth at second, Sisler at first, and Plank on the hill. Kipnis awaits the pitch at long last. From Plank. And that ball is ball 4, not what you want to see out of Plank unless you're an Amazing fan. And if you are, it's certainly some good news. Taffy Wright will stand in for the Amazings, the runner at first base. He's batting 153, 2 homers, and 9 RBI. The pitch from Plank. The runner is off. The ball is hit back up the middle. Larkin steps on second, throws to first, but not in time. So one down. Actually, one down. The runner at first was out, not the runner at second, so he beat the throw. They couldn't quite get turn two, though. Not entirely sure how that worked, but Mike Smith will stand in, batting 214 with 33 homers and 91 RBIs. The pitch from Plank. That one is laced down to third. Rose has it, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Now up is Orlando Cepeda, batting 257 with 4 homers and 14 RBIs. The pitch from Plank. That one is lifted out to left and deep. Into the corner is Cespedes, who makes the catch to retire the side after half an inning. No score. Now up comes the Hadley Lake squad. Humphreys is pitching for the Amazings. His battery mate is Jonathan Lucroy. From left to right, we have Luzinski, McCutcheon, and Wright. And on the infield, it's Smith, Ripken Jr., Kipnis, and Cepeda. Humphreys works to Barry Larkin, who's batting 229 with 9 homers and 36 RBIs. The pitch. That one is laced into center for a base hit. Right off the bat, Barry Larkin is on and a threat to go. Sisler stands in. He's got a 9-game hitting streak going. Humphreys must be going to hold the runner. He looks to first, throws homeward. The runner is off. The throw is pitched out, and the man is out. He got his man. What a play by Jonathan Lucroy. Larkin got greedy, and it caught up with him. Now it's up to Sisler with 1 man down and 1 ball. The pitch. That one is looped into right, and Sisler is aboard. Hadley Lake should have 2 men on and nobody out, but the bad base running by Barry Larkin cost them 1. Now Sisler is also a threat to go. He's got 39 on the year as Pete Rose strolls to the plate, batting 293 with 10 homers, 69 RBIs. The pitch from Humphreys. The runner is off. The pitch is laced to second. Kipnis fires to first for out number 2 as Sisler makes his way to second base. Now Wally Judnick is playing center field, batting 218 with 8 homers and 26 RBIs, while Andre Dawson is on the disabled list at such a critical juncture. The pitch to Judnick. The throw, the pitch out back. Sisler does drive back. What a play that was as Judnick awaits the first pitch. And that ball is slammed down the first baseline. Cepeda has it and will take it to the bag to retire the side. Next up, we have for Eddie Plank taking the hill for the top of the second against Greg Luzinski. Luzinski's batting 273 with 15 homers, 48 RBIs. The pitch from Plank. And that one is looped into center and a base hit. It's going to be extra bases. Luzinski is aboard at second. That ball hit the gap, and Judnick did well to get it back in without it being an even worse situation for the Hadley Lake squad. Now Jonathan Lucroy stands in at 180 with 2 homers and 5 RBIs. Plank looks in for the sign from Sundberg. The throw, and that one is lifted out to left and deep, back, and it is gone. A 2-run home run to put Amazing up 2-0, just like that. Amazing has a big lead, has a critical early 2-0 lead. Home run number 3 for Lucroy. Plank is disgusted with himself, and it gets no easier as Cal Ripken stands in. batting 156 with no homers and 4 RBI. The pitch, and that one is blistered to Rose, who fields and fires to first. Now comes Andrew McCutchen, batting 135 with 3 homers and 3 RBI. The pitch from Plank, who needs to settle down. That ball is lifted into center. Judnick ranges under it and makes a grab for out number 2. Now we're up to Coco Crisp, batting 234 with 9 homers, 41 RBIs. Crisp awaits the pitch as Plank deals. That ball is blistered into right field by Coco. Bernie fields it and throws it back in, Bernie Williams. And Jason Kipnis is up once again, back at the top of the order. Crisp is aboard. He's somewhat of a threat to run, as Plank will throw homeward. And that ball is cut on and missed. Strike 3 for Kipnis, but not before the Amazings grab the 2-0 lead. Now, hoping to dent into that lead is Rudy York for Cadley Lake as we head to the bottom of the second. He's batting 226 with 5 homers and 13 RBI. The pitch from Humphreys. And that's cut on and missed for strike 3. Strikeout number 1 for Humphreys. Bernie Williams will stand in, batting 263 with 7 homers, 32 RBIs. The pitch to him. And that one is lifted down the line and foul, but not before Wright snags it for out number 2. Next up, we have Ioannis Cespedes batting 251 with 8 homers, 51 RBIs. Humphreys deals. And that one is lifted out to left, deep. Lazinski is there, though, for out number 3. After 2, it's 2-0 Amazing. And Taffy Wright standing in 0 for 1. Plank gets the sign and the delivery. Back up the middle, Bloodworth ranges. Fields fires to Sisler for out number 1. Mike Smith will stand in. He's 0 for 1 on the day. He's still a threat to go deep, even though he's hitting 214. Plank gets the sign from Sundberg. And that one is looped into left. Cespedes just throws it back in. And Schmidt is aboard with Orlando Cepeda standing in, hoping to do some damage for the Amazings. He's 0 for 1 on the day. The pitch. That one is well hit to second, but Bloodworth is there and makes a lunging catch for out number 2. Jimmy Bloodworth saved extra bases there as it was ticketed for the alleyway. Greg Lazinski will step up. He's batting 276 on the day. He got a hit his last time up. He got a double, which led to a 2-run home run. And the pitch here from Plank. And that'll be a fly ball deep to Cespedes and gone. It is gone. What a play. Greg Lazinski doubles the lead, and Hadley Lake is just simply shell-shocked with that as Greg Lazinski picks up his 16th. And Eddie Plank is on the ropes after 2.5 innings. What a turn of events we have here. Gets no easier as Jonathan Lucroy stands in. He's already gone deep today. And that ball is tapped to third. Rose fires it on to first for out number 3. After 2.5, it's 4-0. Amazing. Jim Sundberg will stand in to lead off the bottom of the third for Hadley Lake, batting 182 with a homer and 11 RBIs. Humphreys works. And that one is lifted to short. Ripken snares it and throws to first for the out. Now up comes Jimmy Bloodworth, batting 214 with 6 homers, 42 RBIs. The pitch. And that will go in the books as a strikeout for swung on and missed. Indeed it was. The catcher caught it and held on to it for out number 2. Now up it's Barry Larkin, who hit his first time up, but was thrown out going to second on a steal. The pitch. That ball is back up the middle. Ripken fires, off balance throw, but he gets him for out number 3. After 3 full innings, it's 4-0. Amazing. Ripken Jr. stands in now. He's going to face Plank, who's had a tendency to give up the long ball today. The pitch, and that one is high and deep, but Judnick is there for out number 1. McCutcheon will stand in. He's batting 0 for 1 on the day, and the pitch from Plank. That ball is bounded to third, over to first. Sisler grabs it for out number 2. Now Coco Crisp, who singled his first time up, is hoping to do likewise here and turn the order over again. Plank deals. And that ball is lifted down the right field line. Williams ranges over, and he does not get there. The ball bounces off the top of the right field wall for a double. And just like that, the Amazings are in business again as Jason Kipnis strolls to the plate. Plank just wants to get through the inning, and it doesn't appear to be looking good, but Williams does range back and makes the catch to close the door, but not before the Amazings have a couple of loud outs to get there. Moving along to the bottom of the 4th, we have George Sisler batting, leading off the inning. He's first baseman, batting .263 with 5 homers, 38 RBIs. He's 1 for 1 on the day and needs to get something going if Hadley Lake is going to have a chance. The pitch from Humphreys. It's grounded to second. Kipnis picks it up, throws to first for out number 1. Rose is the next batter. He's batting 0 for 1 on the day. The pitch from Humphreys. And that ball will be grounded to first. Sept up with it over to Humphreys for out number 2. It's all up to Wally Judnick, who's 0 for 1 on the day. The pitch. And that one's lifted out to center. McCutcheon's there, and he makes the grab for out number 3 as we head to the 5th inning. This one is moving right along, folks. And it is Taffy Wright steps in to lead off the top half of the 5th for the Amazings. Plank works. And that one is bounded down the first baseline. Plank is up with it. Flips to Sisler for out number 1. Mike Schmidt stands in. He's 1 for 2 on the day as he awaits the pitch from Plank to get strikeout number 2. Schmidt was as dazed and confused as I was on that play, so that explains the strikeout. Cepeda will stand up. He's 0 for 2, batting .252. The pitch from Plank. And that one is right over the middle of the plate for strikeout number 3. Plank closes the door. After 4.5, it's 4-0. Amazing. Rudy York's going to lead it off for the Hadley Lake Hammers, and he needs to pound a nail somewhere if they're going to get back in this. Humphreys deals. He's only thrown 35 pitches, but that one is high and deep to center. McCutcheon tracks it and makes the catch for out number 1. Now we have Bernie Williams next up, batting .262. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Humphreys works. And that one is back to Humphreys. He'll flip to first himself for the out, number 2. Now Ioannis Cespedes, who's had an injury-plagued season, will stand in at 0 for 1. Humphreys works and fires. That ball is right back to Humphreys, and he'll toss to first for out number 3. Hadley Lake really does not have any answers today, it would seem. And up comes their nemesis, Greg Lozinski, who's doubled and homered today. He's already driven in a pair and scored 2 as well. Plank really isn't cranked up to see him, but we'll see as the pitch comes home. And once again, Lozinski sends a double into center field. He's been hot today. That's his second double. And Plank is just disgusted with the whole situation But he can't be too disgusted for them to have any chance at all. Jonathan Lucroy, he needs to retire Jonathan Lucroy here. Lucroy's already homered today, and we'll see. That one is blistered to third. Up with it is Rose, and over to first. The runner stays patted second, but there's one man down. Now it's Cal Ripken, who's 0 for 2 and batting 147. The pitch to him. That one is lifted out to left. Cespedes is there, makes the catch as the runner retreats. Now McCutcheon's 0 for 2. He's going to stand in at 132. The pitch from Plank. And that one is lifted out to left. Foul. And it lands in the stands. Just does. McCutcheon will stand in. The pitch. Caught on and checked on. Walk number 2 for Eddie Plank. Now Coco Crisp, the 9th man, doubled his last time up and singled earlier in the game. He's also given Plank trouble as the Sundberg wants to go talk it over. And here comes the throw. And that one is lifted into center field. Judnick is there to retire the side, and Plank escapes without allowing a run in the top of the 6th. As for the bottom half, we come up with Jim Sundberg, whose days are numbered in Hadley Lake, batting 181. Humphreys works. And that's a strikeout for Sundberg, as his days certainly are numbered, as the fans let their pleasure be known. Now up comes Bloodworth. He's batting 0 for 1 on the day. The pitch to him, and that one's back up the middle. Ripken ranges over, and he'll throw to first to get his man. Back to the top of the order we go, and Barry Larkin batting 1 for 2. The pitch to him, and he shoots it back up the middle. Ripken's there, though, and guns it over to first for out number 3. After 6, it's 4-0. Johnny Humphreys is throwing a 2-hit shutout for the Amazings as we head to the 7th. Now Kipnis will stand in for the Amazings. Eddie Plank deals. And that one, cut on and missed. Strikeout number 4. As Taffy Wright will stand in. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Plank delivers. That one is lifted into center field. Judnick ranging under it. Makes the grab for out number 2. Mike Schmidt will come up. He doubled his last time up, as memory serves. We're going to verify that. No, he struck out his last time out, but he singled in the 3rd. Here comes the pitch to Smith. And that one's popped up behind home plate. Sundberg's there, though, and he'll make the catch for out number 3 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. And I truly thank everyone for jumping on here today. This has not been the smoothest, best, or most compelling broadcast, but we're getting through it, and the Field of Dreams is indeed moving forward. Humphreys takes the hill for the bottom half of the 7th. He's only given up 2 hits on the day. One of those has gone to George Sisler, who's hoping to get another one and give Hadley Lake a chance as the pitch comes in. And that one is indeed sprayed into left center for a base hit. Sisler is aboard with nobody out. Let's see what he can do here. Now up comes Pete Rose. If anything's going to happen, Rose is going to be a part of it. So here we go. The pitch from Humphreys. And that one is sprayed to Ripken, who flips to second for 1 and on to first. A double play. Just like that, 2 men down. And that's the way it's gone all day for the Hadley Lake Hammers. Now, Wally Judnick, who's 0 for 2, stands in and awaits the delivery. Here it comes. That ball is hit to Kipnis, who ranges over, gloves, and fires to first for out number 3. On to the top of the 8th with Orlando Cepeda standing in. Eddie Plank's going to carry on like a good soldier and fire it homeward as that ball is ripped out to deep right. Williams is there, though, and he'll glove it for out number 1. Now up comes the pesky Craig Lazinski, who's 3 for 3. He's got a pair of doubles and a homer on the day. Here's the pitch. To Rose it goes, and wouldn't you know, Rose tosses it past the first baseman for an error. So once again, Lazinski is aboard. He's on second. Even when they have him dead to rights, they can't get him. So up comes Lucroy, who led the scoring off with a 2-run homer in the second. The pitch from Plank. And that's ball 4. Not what you want to see if you're Hadley late, but Ripken coming to the plate. Now Ripken's 0 for 3 on the day, and here's the pitch. That ball is lifted out to left. Cespedes is there. He'll glove it for out number 2. And now comes Andrew McCutcheon. He's 0 for 2 as well. And all Plank needs to do is get the out to get his men back up at bat as we're in the top of the 8th. The pitch. That ball is swung on and missed. Strikeout number 5. Plank has ground through it. Hasn't really been his sharpest, but he's gotten through 8 as we head to the bottom half. Rudy York leading off 0 for 2. The pitch from Humphreys. Well, they're pinch hitting Dixie Walker, it seems, and he comes up and waves at it for strike number 3 and strikeout number 4. Now up we will see Bernie Williams. They're just trying to get anything going here, and that ball is bombed it out to second, out to first. Cepeda takes it, flips it to Humphreys for out number 2. And Cespedes will come up to try to keep the inning going. He's batting .249 with 8 homers, 51 RBIs. The pitch. That one is bounded out to third. Schmidt up with it over to first for out number 3 on the double bounce. So after 8, it's 4-0. Amazing. Coco Crisp standing in with a single and a double. Plank pitches. That one is lifted into shallow right for a base hit, and that's his 3rd hit of the day for a single. Jason Kipnis is now up. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Plank fires. And that one hits the zone for strikeout number 6, strike 3. Taffy Wright will stand in with 1 man down, a runner on first. The pitch. That one is drilled into the corner. Just like that, bad play on it by Pete Rose. A run will likely score. But no, it did not. He held up. The third base coach held Crisp at third. And that's double number 8 for Taffy Wright. And here we are. Mike Schmidt standing in once again. Eddie Plank. And a bass ball, a run will score, a runner will move to third. Wild pitch, rather. And that's just been the kind of day it's been for Hadley Lake as Schmidt awaits the 3-0. And that ball lifted out to left. It looks like it's going to carry. And it is out of the park. A 2-run home run, and this is a laugher now. We can pretty much put this one in the books. If we knew how to zoom it, we certainly would. But since we're in the top of the 9th, we're going to see it through. Plank has been rocked hard today. He's given up 7 runs, 10 hits, and in a critical division game as Cepeda stands up. stands in, rather. That ball is popped into shallow center, and Judnick makes the catch for out number 2. Now up it's Lazinski, who's 3 for 4. Make that 3 for 5 as Rose fields and fires it to the first for out number 3. Long way to go and a short time to get there. To borrow a phrase from a classic country song. And indeed, it's all up to Jim Sundberg from Humphreys Works. That ball is fouled. Somehow or other, they got a hit out of that. An infield single. It didn't look like it off the bat, but aboard is Sundberg. Anything can happen, but Ludwig must carry the torch. The pitch. And that one is bounded to first. A booted ball by Cepeda. So Hadley Lake has 2 men on with nobody out and Barry Larkin standing in. Humphreys has got to say, he's saying to himself, is this game ever going to end? And that's strikeout number 5, so it's one step closer with that one as George Sisler stands in. He's batting, he's 2 for 3 on the day, batting 284, I should say. I said 264 earlier. The pitch. And that one's trickled out to second. Kipnis throws to Ripken to get the lead runner. Now it's up to Pete Rose, batting 291. He's 0 for 3. The pitch to him. And that's all she wrote. The Hammers lose 7-0 on a strikeout. And what a game by Johnny Humphreys. Not the guy you would expect to see pitching a 4-hit shutout in September against a quality dead ball pitcher in Eddie Plank, but that's why they play the games, and indeed it is. So I would say we're going to probably say it is Johnny Humphreys, the player of the game, the MVP. It could easily go to Greg Lazinski as well, but it was a fantastic game for the Amazings, who now find themselves a game clear. Let's see what they find themselves. They find themselves 2.5 clear of both Hadley Lake and Mid-Michigan. So a little bit of breathing room for the Amazing Kitsunes as we take a brief look around the league. We're going to play through. We're going to sim through this next day, Wednesday, the 7th. And then whoever wants to take it from here can take it from here. And I will try to catch my breath and maybe grab a bit of lunch. Canada and Florence. We have Florence upending Canada. Canada has lost 2 of 3 to Florence. Again, that's why they play the games. Brantley with the win, Carlton the loss. Swanson went 2 for 4 with his 6th homer and 2 RBIs. Marshfield and St. Pete, the win goes to Marshfield. And Johnson picks up his 27th homer and 5 RBIs. Lancaster and Edmonton, here we are. Lancaster drops one to Edmonton. Oswalt with the win, Tony the loss. Tejada 3 for 5 with a homer and a double. Now it's Cleveland and the D-Gens. Cleveland loses to the D-Gens. Feller gets the win, his 6th. Walsh picks up his 14th loss. Bryant went 2 for 4 with his 14th homer and 3 RBIs. Now, Amazing in Hadley Lake. Wouldn't you know, Amazing all but puts Hadley Lake away 2-0, pushes them 3.5 out, and Ismael Valdez with the big win, Earl White with a loss, and Jonathan Lucroy does it again with his 4th homer. Now, Long Island and Manchester. Manchester gets the win over Long Island to get the win. He goes to 7-15, does Ted Lyons, and Bumgardner falls to 9-14. Davis went 2 for 4 with a homer and 2 RBIs. Hagerstown and Liverpool. Were we going to play another day? That would be the game to play right there. They are playing, I believe, another game tomorrow. So whoever picks up the league from here can pick up with that most likely. Hagerstown and Liverpool. A win goes to Hagerstown 10-4. Santana falls to 4-1. Riho goes to 2-5. Wagner went 4 for 5 with a triple and 2 stolen bases. As Fort Lee and Hagerstown pull within 3 and 3.5 games respectively. Mid Michigan and Brooklyn. If Mid Michigan should lose this, amazing. It's his division to lose. But Mid Michigan is hoping to at least keep pace. And they don't. Brooklyn gets a 1-0 win in 11. What a game that must have been. O'Day with a win. Gibson the loss. We're going to pull up the box score just to see. And it was a one amazing game, a 6-hitter for Mid Michigan was held to 6 hits over 11 innings. What a game there. What a game. Now we have Lehigh and Chico's, and Lehigh edges Chico's 3-2 as they're hoping to keep pace, if not gain a game on San Fran. Dallas can Fort Lee. Hey, Liverpool is hoping for a Fort Lee loss here. Fort Lee is hoping to gain some ground, and they do. It's 5-4. They're 2.5 games out of first place. Robertson gets the win, Bedrosian the loss, and Jackson went 2 for 5 with his 17. San Fran and T-Ville, the win goes to San Fran, and they hold a 3-game lead over the Lehigh Lizards. We are not going to play the next day. We are going to look at it, though, to see who plays who. It does seem like Dallas and Fort Lee might be a good game to watch. That possibly is about it. Brooklyn and Mid-Michigan. Amazing doesn't play today. Hadley Lake doesn't play today. Canada and Chicago. Canada does. Oh, no, actually, I stand corrected. Canada does not. Chicago does. So we're going to close out this sim. It is September the 7th. We've simmed everything through that. So whoever picks up next will pick up with September 8th. And we will see how things shake out before we go, we'll see how things shake out here with the standings. Liverpool is 2.5 up over Fort Lee and 3.5 over Hagerstown in the Earth Division. In the Wind Division, it is San Fran by 3 over Lehigh. In the Fire Division, Chicago by 7 at 105-36 over Canada. And in the Water Division, it's Amazing, who has gained some separation in his division. It's 79-64, 552 winning percentage by 3.5 over Hadley Lake and Mid-Michigan. In the loss column, which is all important, it's a 4-game spread. So Hadley Lake and Mid-Michigan have some work to do and not much time left to do it. But it's going to be quite a thrilling run down to the end. I hope you've enjoyed this broadcast, and maybe we'll do one. Maybe we'll do one later in the week. I'm not sure as what time is going to look like. This coming week is going to be absolutely crazy, but it's been a pleasure to be on today. Certainly have enjoyed doing this. If you like what you see, if you can put up with all the gaffes, then come back again. Certainly, if by some chance you're seeing this and you're not part of the Field of Dreams, by all means consider joining up for season 4, because we're getting to that point where the season 3 is coming to an end. We're looking for the draft. We're looking towards next season. And wouldn't it be great to have a few more teams participating? With that, I'm going to call it a day. I want to thank everyone for joining in. I'll acknowledge folks who are here. I think we have Steve Tate dropped by at one point. Dwayne Martz dropped by at one point. MV is here, was here for a little bit as well. I thank you guys all for your comments. I haven't even seen most of them until now. I apologize for that. I can't walk and chew gum. I can't even chew gum at the same time. So, thanks to everybody who stopped, Big Clue in particular, and Carlos Yaz also for dropping in, and Beatles Eternally. Thank you for your kind words. You're certainly the gold standard for a broadcast. So I will say I am far short of that, but one of these days, maybe I will get there. And you too as well, Dwayne Martins. You do a fantastic job. And thank you all. That's going to be that. I am going to say good afternoon and have a great weekend, everybody. We'll catch you on the next stream, whenever that may be. I will zip the league file shortly. Bye now.